I came in like a wrecking ball. This is probably a bad idea. I'm never gonna stop swinging. Uh-oh. Hi everybody. So in the last episode of Stuck on a Rope, we had some shoelaces, but my wife said that was too easy and she stole my shoes. So in today's episode, we have no shoes, no shoelaces, and we're gonna figure out if we can get out of here. She left me hanging, and I hung around for a while, and I eventually figured it out. Why are you roaring at me? Do you see her? Right, so we're gonna see if we get out of here without the aid of any prusiks or shoelaces or anything like that. So I was left hanging out here for a while until I figured it out, and let's face it, if I was in desperation, I'd probably rip my shirt off and turn it into a prusik. The whole point of this, if you didn't see my last I'm Stuck on a Rope episode, is if you find yourself in this situation where you've rappelled down to your knots and you probably didn't leave much room at the end, maybe the only recommended length, which is about 6 inches or a foot or something. So you might find yourself in this situation. What you don't want to do is panic, unclip, and then try down climbing, because that's how people have died. So let's see if I can get out of here without any prusiks. So phase one is I found out that if I actually pull on this end like this is a 2-to-1. Now you might be saying, Josh, it's a 1-to-1, but because my body weight is in the system, when I pull on this, essentially half my weight is on this end and my other half is hanging on this end. So you can imagine my hands as a pulley. So this is actually a 2-to-1. So if I pull up on this, I'm only pulling half my weight. This makes it easy. So that means if I get down onto my knots, this knot stops one end. I could essentially just pull half my weight and pull in on this. I've now given myself some rope, and I've also made some upward progress. See if we could do that again. There we go. I made some more upward progress. This brings us into phase two. So you may notice now that I'm not in my black rope, but my green rope. I think this is much more visible than my black rope. Also, I spent about an hour trying this second phase, phase two, on my black rope, but it's so stiff and so slippery, this won't even work. So if you have a stiff and slippery rope, man, just forget it. You're just gonna have to do that 2-for-1 pull all the way up. But if your rope is a little more supple, then here's phase two. Okay. Wait, you're still here watching a guy just yank on his rope? This is like the 7th episode you've seen. Click that subscribe button. Stop being stingy. You don't understand, Josh. I don't click subscribe button. Click it. And hit the bell too. Okay. Just do it. Okay, what we're gonna do is I got about, let's say, 15 feet of slack in here. And the way you can quickly count that out is your arm length, right? So if you're 5 foot long, which I'm not exactly 5 foot, you go like this. 5, 10, 15, about 15 feet of rope, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the end knot out of the end there, not yet, but we're gonna put an end knot right here. So we're gonna make, and this part that's going over my shoulder, this other end knot, my rope's just too long, my green rope's too long, so we're just gonna pretend this isn't here. We're gonna pretend it's terminated right here, okay? So like this is a barrel knot over here. We're playing pretend. Okay. So we'll do an overhand here. We'll fall into that. Boop. Okay, good. Now we go hands off. Now what we're gonna do is I stole this from Skills Board. Skills Board did a little episode like this. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna wanna go way too high. And I'll show you why later. But we're gonna make a Alpine butterfly right here. Can make the loop pretty short. What's nice about the Alpine butterflies is it's pretty easy to adjust. Okay, there we go. We got a little Alpine butterfly, not too high, okay? That's actually a little bit too high. I'd rather a little bit shorter, and I'll show why in a minute. So now what we're gonna do is gonna just wrap it around like a prusik. So about 6, 7 times. Grab your tail to make it quick. Okay, we got 6 times. I think that should do it. That should be enough. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna feed our tail through the loop of this Alpine. So now we got a bit of a prusik here, and now we can make a foot loop and get our foot in there. See what that does for us. There we go. So now we can use our feet and pull and slack like this and make our way up the rope. Now, here's the reason why you don't want that Alpine butterfly too high. Let's say you mess up and all the slack goes out. Look how far that is, and look what's happening. Now I got a big problem. I have to pull it all back down. If that got stuck up higher and really, really stuck, you'd have an issue on your hands. So that's about it. We created slack on one end, which we could then create an Alpine butterfly and then a prusik and make some upward progress. So this was getting stuck and unstuck with Joshua Perry on a, what would you call this? Getting undummified. This is getting undummified with Joshua Perry. All right, if you like this, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. A lot of you guys in the last episode said, hey, use like ATC and guide mode to make your life a lot easier. Yeah, it would, but we're trying to make this as hard as possible. See, no shoes, no shoelaces. All right, Josh Perry out. See you guys next week. Came in like a wrecking ball, and never meant to break your walls.
I never meant to.
Check out our Discord, and our merch store, and our Instagram, and I think that's all I got.